Hi, I'm Tim Kirkchin with ESPN, and you're watching Raptor Baseball on MC TV.
So we are set to get underway.
Sound the sirens, rattle the cage, cause this is the symphony born out of rage. Fist to the sky and my past in the flame. I was built to rebel. I can feel it in my bones and now. Move our bodies till we own the night. I can feel it in my bones and now. Move our bodies till we own the night. I'm the beat that don't break, the dream that won't yield. The ghost in the gears and the fire in the field. No script, no map, just scars and sparks. I write my legend in lightning marks.
From the Germantown campus of Montgomery College, Montgomery College Television brings you NJCAA College Baseball with the Montgomery College Raptors welcoming in the Knights from CCBC-Essex for a doubleheader today. I'm Michael Brown, joined by my partner Andre Anderson. Andre, we have a beautiful day for baseball.
Oh, we do. Not one single cloud in the sky that I see, which is going to mean no rain, and I cannot wait for this game.
No, we've got a nice doubleheader ahead of us. The sky is as clear as it can be, and very surprising for this location is there is very little wind.
Mm-hmm.
We've been here in the past. They don't call this place Windy Hill for nothing.
There we go.
And we've been here in the past where the wind has been a real factor. But right now, the flag is hanging pretty limp. The trees are not moving. So we've got an ideal day for baseball. And this is an important doubleheader between these two teams.
Yeah, both teams are neck and neck in the standings, virtually the same exact record. So with that being the case, I know both teams are coming here. Both teams want to win, and this is going to be a fight until the very end.
Well, there's no question about it. Both these coaches, the head coach for the Montgomery College Raptors, of course, is Dan Rasher. Dan has been here for over 20 years. On the other side for Essex is a good friend of his, Sean O'Connor. Sean has been the head coach at Essex since 2019. And small world time, Sean coached Dan Rasher's son, Hackett, at the high school level. So these two guys go back a long way. They have a lot of respect for each other. And like you said, we've got two teams with similar records.
Yeah.
And they're both hoping for the playoffs.
Yeah, that's right around the corner as well. Also, the schedule has been kind of rough for both teams. A lot of games this year. And I was hearing, correct me if I'm wrong, a lot of doubleheaders recently.
Well, our statistician who was in the booth with us today, Evan Brown, had a little bit of a conversation with Sean O'Connor before the game started, and O'Connor told him this is their fourth doubleheader in the last 5 days.
That is crazy.
That is insane.
Yeah.
And I just don't I don't know how you do it with a limited roster. And it's very taxing on the pitching staff.
It is. I mean, imagine throwing the ball that many times every single day, especially with limited roster as well. It's not like you can go deep into the rotation. And on top of that as well for the players. I mean, I remember playing myself back in the day and having to play back-to-back games, in the same day, and then the next day doing it again. That is not easy.
No, it's not. And the league schedule this year, both head coaches have complained about it just a little bit because it's 40 games.
Okay.
That's a lot of games in a short amount of time.
Yeah.
Because, it's a compressed season.
Yeah.
Because the playoffs start in just about 2 weeks.
Ooh.
So, and they started playing in March.
Okay.
So that's 56 games in that period of time. That's
Yeah.
a lot of games in a short amount of time.
It is. It is. I know these players are definitely ready for a break, but not during the season, though. They're ready to play. This is going to be a big one. The cameras are out. The weather is beautiful. Both teams want this one.
That's for sure. So let's run down the starters for Montgomery College in the field. Starting today on the mound for the Raptors is David Fajerski. He is a freshman out of Waldorf, Maryland, and David will be on the mound to start things out. He's got a record of 2-1 on the season, ERA of 6.92. Behind the plate for the Raptors is Segura. At first base, Hayden Hare. Second base, Joe Dringwitz. The third baseman is Blake Newell. Shortstop is Rosenbaum. He's one of the few returners that the Raptors have, Van Rosenbaum. And let's see, in the outfield we have Anderson, Mason, and Kritsky for the Raptors. The returners there are Mason in center, Trey Mason, and in right field, Kritsky, Jaden Kritsky is also a returner. And for Essex, I guess we might as well run down their batting order because they will be, of course, hitting first. Leading off for them is number 3, Maxwell Urena. Hitting second is number 24, Jimmy Perez. Hitting third, number 22, Eduardo Zayas. Hitting cleanup, number 16, Justin Cook. Hitting fifth, Parsons, then Hartman, Castillo, Carroll, and Holland. And we are just about set to get underway. Our umpires behind home plate, we have Vance Coleman, and at first base, well, the infield ump, the base ump, is Matt Van Paris. Of course, he moves all around the infield depending on the situation with runners on. So we are just about set to get underway. We have 2 games for you today. Because it is a doubleheader at this level, the games will be 7 innings each.
Okay.
Unless, of course, we run into a mercy rule situation.
Yeah.
Which can take place after 5 innings. And we're just about set to go.
We also have a cool little a toy in the booth with us today. We have the speed gun.
Yep. So we're going to get to see the speed gun in action, and that'll give us some good information.
Oh yeah, that'll be cool.
I talked to the Raptors pitching coach before the game, Vince Capozzi, and he told me that Fajerski features mainly a fastball slider. So we'll see. Team stats, just to give you an idea how these 2 teams stack up on some of the key stats. We are ready to go. We'll get back to that. So leading off for Essex is Urena. And he comes in hitting 362. And he's got an on-base percentage of .453, so this guy gets on base a lot. And we are set to get underway. First pitch of the afternoon. There's a ground ball to second base. Oh, he bobbled it. And that's going to be an error.
Early error. Might be a little bit of the early game jitters.
So Drangwitz couldn't come up with that. Ball was hit off the end of the bat, had a little bit of spin on it. And that brings up Perez for, he shows bunt, and it's called strike. Jimmy Perez, 324 hitter. Got 3 home runs on the season. Showing bunt again, lays it down, that's a nice one. Fielded beautifully by Fajerski, and he gets the out. But the sacrifice works, and the runner advances. And that brings up Zayas. Eduardo Zayas from Puerto Rico. Oh, that's in the dirt, and that's going to allow the runner to motor into third base. That ball that's a wild pitch.
Yeah, it was. That's a quick third base, player on third base early in this game so far for CCBC.
Yeah, so they're already threatening. And Zayas is a 290 hitter. Got 16 ribbies on the season. He's their top base stealing threat. And he just balked a run in.
Oh, wow. All right, Michael, I think this is a great time to explain the balk rule.
I knew you were coming at me with that.
Oh, it was coming. I was going to throw it in there maybe in like the 5th inning, but this is a perfect opportunity to explain the balk rule to people who do not know what that is.
And generally it's, to keep it simple, because there are so many things that can be a balk. It's generally a false move of some sort, where you start something and stop it, or you even sort of barely start something and stop it.
Okay.
I was making a note and I didn't see exactly what happened there, but the ump was right on it. There's a high bouncer to third, long throw.
Laser.
For the out.
Laser from a third baseman right there. Very good throw.
Excellent throw by Newell.
Here's a replay right here.
It's a high bouncer. Took his time, throw right on the bag.
Yeah, great throw. Great defensive play by Newell.
So that brings up Cook. Cook is their, Justin Cook is their cleanup hitter, hitting .319 on the season. He's out of Bradenton, Florida.
Ooh, that is actually where the national team soccer camp is. So the national team has their base there for soccer in Bradenton, Florida.
In the dirt. 1 ball, 1 strike. We're in the top of the first, and Essex has broken through with an unearned run, but it's a run nonetheless. Ooh, right on the corner for a strike.
Great pitch. All right, so let's see this crucial pitch. And it was a ball.
That's another ball.
Hey, David, you're a kid.
2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs.
There's a ground ball to short. Should be a third out, and it is. So he limits the damage, Fajerski does. But Essex does break through first. So after a half an inning, we've got Essex on top, 1-0.
At Montgomery College, dedication has no end, and ambition knows no age. It's home to people like you who see the blank pages in the book not as dreams deferred, but as chapters yet to be written, and who work tirelessly toward their goals while being a mentor to others along the way. Discover your passion, unlock your potential, and become the author of their future too at Montgomery College.
And welcome back to the Germantown campus of Montgomery College. We're all set for the bottom of the first inning. And on the hill for Essex is number 40, Casey Parsons. Casey is 2-2 on the season so far and has a very respectable ERA of 4.15. So Parsons is a freshman out of Salisbury, Maryland, and he's a righty. Parsons has only given up one home run this season so far.
Let's go.
Pretty decent strikeout to walk ratio. And leading off for the Raptors is Trey Mason, number 1, center fielder. And he is a returning Raptor. The Raptors, of course, had a tremendous season last year. They won the league, they won the regions, they went to the World Series. One of the best seasons they've had in the last several. And Trey was a big reason for that. He's hitting an even 300 so far this season and leads the team in stolen bases with 20. Pops it up. And the right fielder is under it for the out. So that brings up number 6, Hayden Hare. Hayden has done some pitching this year for the Raptors. He's primarily a pitcher. I don't have any offensive stats for him.
I was going to say, I think mine is blank.
Right.
But it must be that he must have been on the mound most of the time.
He has been. The Raptors have had a lot of injuries.
Yeah.
And it could well be, I didn't speak to Dan Rasher about Hayden specifically, but he told me how many injuries they've had this year. And it's been a lot.
And quite a bit for the pitchers, right?
Yeah, a lot of pitching injuries. And of course the pitching staff, we talked about the crazy schedule.
Yeah.
The compact schedule. And the pitching staff has really suffered with injuries. But he was talking about some of the weird, unusual types of injuries that they've had this year. Broken orbital bone, a broken jaw, torn shoulder, torn elbow.
Yeah, that's a lot.
There's a line drive to center field, but right at the center fielder. Boy, he hit that one right on the screws, but right to the center fielder. He hardly had to move. So that brings up Mickey Anderson. And I'm anxious to see Mickey. First of all, he's from Ohio, which is my home state.
That's your hometown, okay.
He's from Piqua, no less, which was about 10 miles from where I grew up.
Oh, wow. So you know the area.
I do know the area.
Okay. Any good restaurants you would, recommend?
No.
Okay. Okay.
Mickey is also hitting .345 on the season and leads the team in home runs with 5. Got a .451 on-base percentage, which is and 33 RBIs. Leads the team in homers and RBIs. And he just went down swinging.
Well, that was quick.
Yep.
That was really
So 1, 2, 3 inning for Parsons, and the Raptors go down silently. just 11 pitches. So we are off to a brisk start. We'll be right back with the second after this.
At the crossroads of grit and determination, Montgomery College is home to those whose dedication doesn't rest, and those who don't believe in excuses. The kind of person who pulls the overnight shift, then heads right back to class. Those who know that it's not about the hours you put in, but what you put into the hours that transforms lives. So what are you waiting for? Unlock your full potential at Montgomery College.
We are back to the beautiful Germantown campus of Montgomery College. David Fajerski back out there for his second inning. He only had 11 pitches in the first inning. So despite the fact that he did give up the unearned run, he only threw 11 pitches. So that's efficient.
Yeah, arm's still fresh, moving into the second, which is really good as well.
All right, well, that brings up Parsons, the pitcher, who was going to hit for himself, and there's good reason for it. He's hitting 368.
Wow.
So you don't want to keep a bat like that on the bench. He also has a 455 on base percentage, so he's getting on base almost 1 out of every 2 times he comes to the plate. And the wind has all of a sudden decided to enter the conversation.
You knew it had to pick up at some point, you know?
Yeah. Well, it just wouldn't be a day at Germantown without the wind.
Yeah.
So it's like
it's like going to Jamaica and not stepping, on the beach.
Exactly. I could reference a very old song. It's like a horse without a carriage, or carriage without a horse.
Okay, that one I'm not familiar with.
Most people do not know what a carriage is. I came home from the hospital in a carriage.
And then the horses were pulling you and all that kind of
That's
stuff?
right.
Yeah.
Horse-drawn carriage.
That makes sense.
Yep. On the Corduroy Road.
Not the Pebble Road.
No. There's a bouncer to third. Nice pickup. Long throw. Ooh, nice job.
Once again by Newell's. Is it Newell, yeah?
Blake Newell. Blake Newell showing off a great arm.
Yeah, and great defensive play. Here's another replay. Similar to the first one, off the bounce. Catches the ball and a laser to first base.
Yeah, he has made some really nice plays over there already. So that brings up number 14, William Hartman, the catcher. He's hitting 345 on the season. As a team, Essex is hitting 290, which is pretty impressive.
It's pretty solid.
Yeah. And this guy looks like a catcher.
Oh, yeah.
Ooh, fouls it back.
There we go.
This guy is a Hartman is a sophomore, hometown product, Rice Churchtown, right up the road there from Essex. Just a few years ago, all the community colleges of Baltimore County sort of joined together. So they're all part of the CCBC system now.
That makes sense.
And you've got Essex, you've got Catonsville, you've got Dundalk, a couple others that I'm drawing a blank on right now. Two balls, two strikes. On deck is Rafael Castillo for Essex. Just on the outside. And, runs the count full now.
I feel like that pitch has some heat on it.
It did.
Ooh.
And he lost him.
A little bit on the inside. And the walk.
That puts a man on first with one out, and that brings up Castillo. Rafael Castillo is a 250 hitter. Has a .413 on base percentage, however. And he's out of the Queens, New York.
I know that area pretty well. I have some family out there. Nice area.
Well, as we found out earlier, from talking to the head coach for Essex, they have quite a few players from the New York area, as well as Puerto Rico.
That's why it's that. Wasn't that Savannah? That's why it's.
Castillo is a sophomore.
I can get it fixed. I guess the question is how do we.
Takes a strike, and he goes down. So that's the first strikeout of the afternoon for right on the corner. That was a tough pitch.
Looked like he threw out a slider possibly.
That was a slider, and that was a tough pitch. Right on the fist. There's another strike. So we've got 2 outs, man on first, and number 2, Brody Carroll, is up. Brody's struggling a little bit at the plate, hitting 186. Pops it up. Who's going to call it? No, couldn't. Oh, they lost it. And that is going to go as a base hit.
See, the thing is with with no clouds in the sky and on a sunny day like this, the ball might get caught in the sun. It might be a little bit hard to see.
That's what they call a high sky, and that pop-up was a mile high.
Oh, yeah.
So that brings up Ethan Holland, who has a chance now to bring a run home as we've got a runner on second. And he fouls it back. Ethan Holland is another sophomore out of Salisbury, hitting .321 on the season.
Oh, wow.
We hit ground ball. That is the end of the inning.
Good reflexes.
So he gets out of the inning with no damage. So after an inning and a half, the Raptors trail 1-0.
MC is defined by those who put in the work. The paths we took have been unique, but we come together with one shared mission.
If you are the first in your family to graduate, if you speak more than one language, if you are more than 50 years old, a military service member, an honor student, if you are a parent, please stand up and say, I am MC.
We don't just begin to be inspired by them after graduation. They've been inspiring us every step of the way.
And welcome back to the Germantown campus. Michael Brown alongside my partner, Andre Anderson, getting ready for the bottom half of the second inning. And, earlier last inning, I was talking to you about the CCBC campuses. So I did want to update you with every one of them. There's Catonsville. There's Dundalk. There's Essex. And then they have extension centers at Hunt Valley, Owings Mills, and Randallstown as we get a look at the beautiful Montgomery College Germantown campus as our drone is flying around giving us some absolutely gorgeous shots of this campus. This campus has undergone a lot of transformation over the last few years. And so we are ready to go. And leading off is Van Rosenbaum. Van is playing shortstop this afternoon. And he's one of the few sophomores on the, oh boy, the umpire just took a foul ball. Man, that had to hurt. And everybody giving him a chance. Here comes the Raptors trainer, Christy Voigt. Ooh, it got him, I think it got him on the foot or the shin. Yeah, that was a rough one. So these umpires do wear protection, but you know, you can't cover every square inch. So hopefully he's fine. They're giving him time to to recover. And that's our home plate umpire Vance Coleman. Just conferring with his partner there, Matt Van Paris. Oh, I'm sure it's not the first time he's taken one.
Really?
They had to put you on the injured reserve list. He's just making sure he could see straight after that one. Yep. So anyway, there's a good look at number 23, Van Rosenbaum. Van is one of the few sophomores on this team. He's out of Poolesville High School. And Van comes in hitting .322 on the season. He's got 9 steals. And he's second on the team in RBIs with 31. So a very productive player. And of course he plays one of the key positions on the field. Some would say the key position at shortstop.
Go, Van.
He did. When he first came up, he was a shortstop. Of course, the legendary Cal Ripken. And so many over the years. Okay, we're back to it. No balls, 2 strikes. And he fouled off strike 3, that's for sure. So good job of staying alive there. We're in the bottom of the second. Raptors trailing 1-0. They only run so far, an unearned run in the top of the first. That wind has really picked up all of a sudden. That's more what we're used to up here. So, 1 ball, 2 strikes for Rosenbaum. Parsons on the hill and there's strike 3. Called strike 3.
Right fielder, Jaden, 15. Or would you set up a third?
So that brings up Kritzky, Jaden Kritzky, another returning player for the Raptors. And he hits one out into right field, but the right fielder gathers that in rather easily. So 1 pitch, 1 out. And that brings up Michael Guardado. Michael has been primarily a pitcher this season too. I don't have any offensive stats on him. So again, that reflects the injury situation for the Raptors. They're having to, enlist players to play positions they don't normally play. Most pitchers do like to swing the bat. So that's 2 strikes. All 2 strikes as Parsons is moving through another quick inning. And just missed. That must have been inside. And there's off the third baseman's glove, and that'll be a base hit. He got it. He hit that ball hard, and the third baseman just couldn't quite jump up high enough to gather it in and hit it off the top of his glove. And that brings up Josiah Segura, the catcher for the Raptors. He's hitting .238 on the season. And he takes a strike. So that's a base hit for Guardado. Now he's got some stats. And he fouls it off down third baseline. We would be remiss if we didn't point out that this Germantown field is in just ideal condition. It's pristine. It really is the best I've ever seen this field look. Dan Rasher and his staff do a remarkable job of taking care of the facility. There's a ground ball back to the pitcher, and he tosses it to first, and that is the third out and the end of the second. So after 2 complete, Raptors trailing 1-0.
If there's one word I could pick to describe Aces, I think it would honestly be like home, and just that feeling of home, and that the people in your home who support you, who love you through anything, and that's what Aces is to me.
Aces just helped my whole college career. If I didn't have them, I think I would be stuck in my first year, struggling to do classes.
I would like to thank Ms. Gina. This last semester, she has done a wonderful job working with me hand by hand and helping me improve my public speaking skills. If it wasn't for her, I think that I wouldn't be standing here today with you guys.
Back to the beautiful Germantown campus of Montgomery College. We're all set to start the top of the third inning, and we do want to mention a special event coming up here at the Germantown campus next Tuesday, April 22nd at 2 p.m. It'll be fun at the ballpark day as the Raptors host Hagerstown Community College There's going to be food. There's going to be T-shirts. There's going to be games. There'll be faculty here. The provost for the Germantown campus will be tossing out the first pitch. So it's an annual event. It's always a lot of fun. So it's a way to honor the Raptors and commend them on all their hard work this season, and also have a great time while you're doing it. So don't forget, next Tuesday at 2 o'clock, it's fun at the ballpark.
Michael, you got me at the food part. I heard food. I heard baseball. I'm going to be there.
And apparently it's barbecue. So
I'm definitely going to be there.
I know we have a lot of guys in this booth that are barbecue fans.
Oh, yeah. Maybe a brisket sandwich or something like that.
So here's Urena. He grounds it to short. Throw to first. Easy out. One up, one down. So that brings up Perez. Perez had a sacrifice bunt his first time up. Actually, Urena scored the one run for Essex. He scored that run on a balk. He got on through an error.
Yeah.
So the only run so far in this game has been unearned.
Still a close game, though. 1-0.
Oh, absolutely. Can't get much closer than that.
Wow.
There's a fly ball to deep center. Deep center, and it is gone. So Perez. That was a no doubt about it shot there. Mason went back on it, but it was gone. And Perez has been a real catalyst today for Essex. So that makes it 2-0. And here's a good shot of that. Mason went back, but nope. All I could do was watch it disappear into the pines. And that puts Essex up 2-0. That brings up Zayas. Zayas grounded out to third his first time up. And he hits one into right center, and it drops in for a base hit.
Essex seeming to find a groove.
So this is the third inning for Fajerski, who sailed through the first two innings. Despite giving up the unearned run, he looked very strong. That brings up Cook. He was out on a ground ball his first time up. Takes it high and inside. So Perez with the long ball.
And there's something to note as well with this Essex team. They have a lot of players that can steal bases, if I'm correct.
Oh, they do.
And you can see it already that they're testing the base runner to make sure that he is not going to steal.
Well, Zayas is their top steal threat. He leads the team with 22 steals. And he's near the top of the leaderboard in that. There he goes.
There he goes.
There's the throw. Easily in there.
Right on cue.
So that is a stolen base for Zayas. That makes 23 on the season now.
He's going to have to run his jersey in the washing machine like 10 times. But he's very good at stealing.
He certainly is. He's right at the top of the leaderboard in that category for Region 20. Montgomery College and Essex are both in NJCAA Division II Region 20.
Okay.
And that's another ball. This is Cook. Justin Cook. .319 hitter on the season. And he walked him. So Fajerski struggling this inning. And that brings up Parsons, the pitcher. He grounded to third as Newell made a real nice play. And going to have a little visit to the mound. And that is Raptors pitching coach, Vince Capozzi.
So when the coach goes out there, the team goes out there and say the pitcher, isn't having the best inning, it's not always that he's taking out the pitcher, right? I mean, sometimes he is, but sometimes maybe it's to calm him down a little bit, or just talk us through that.
Sometimes it's to calm him down. Maybe he's relying too much on his fastball. He needs to mix in the slider. Maybe he's doing something mechanically wrong, or that they picked up on. But I think in a situation like this, it's basically calm down. You need to get this hitter.
Yeah.
That's way outside. Nice save there by Segura. He kept both runners from advancing with that diving stop. And that's inside. That runs the count to 2-0. Last thing Fajerski wants to do here is load the bases.
Yeah, only with one out as well. Not something that he wants to do.
Hartman on deck. Their leading home run hitter. Ooh. So that runs the count to 3-0. There's the pitch. Fouled it off. So he had the green light on 3-0, the batter. So no, not at this level. At this level, normally he would be taking. But it's quite possible they sense that they've got Fajerski in a bit of a bind, and you get a pitch you think you can handle, go for it. There's a ground ball, sharply hit but fouled down the third baseline.
Full count.
So he's run the count full now. His pitch count is definitely going to go up after this half inning.
Yeah.
But right now, the key here is to make it through this half inning. Try to limit the damage to the one home run. Just one out. Oh, they got him picked off second. Throw to third, and he is out of there. Beautiful job. Beautiful job. They had him picked. Oh, wait a minute. They're calling him safe. Whoa. Let's take a look at that. Had him picked off. Throw to first. Oh, my goodness. How is he safe? And they're calling it a balk. Wow. Dan Rasher, head coach for the Raptors, certainly doesn't agree with that. And
I'm still confused.
So the batter struck out. Or did he? Now he walks.
Okay, that was a crazy sequence.
That was a crazy sequence. So they're apparently saying that Fajerski balked on his move to second,
which advanced the runners,
which allowed that runner, even though he was thrown out at third, to be safe at third, because a balk you proceed.
Yeah, you advance to the next
you're not.
base.
It's not contested. So now the bases are loaded for Hartman, and he singles to left field. Shallow left, but one run scores, 2 runs score, And boy, that call really hurt.
Yeah, that seems to be a big momentum shift. That one play right there. Still only one
run scores. Because the ball was not all that well hit. But it does put runners on first and third now. And he hits it that loads it up as Castillo is hit by pitch. So what a sequence. That brings up Carroll.
First out, Brody Carroll.
Brody Carroll. He had an infield single his first time up. So still just one out. Still 2 runners on. There's a ground ball to first. Oh my goodness. Oh, they got him. They forced him at home.
That was an outstanding defensive play.
Wow. What a play there by Hayden Hare.
Yeah, he could have gone to first, but instead flipped it to the catcher, like almost like a diving catch that he made.
Well, I was kind of questioning why he didn't tag the runner.
Yeah.
But then, of course, the throw to home, the catcher would have had to tag the runner. It wouldn't have been a force.
And then with only one out, they would have been able to get the extra run.
And there's a pop foul. That'll be out of play. So that play saved a run to keep the score at 4-0. Foul back. That brings up Holland. Holland is he lined out to first his first time up. There's a pitch, fouled off. Oh no, not fouled off. I thought it hit him. But they got him at first. So good play there by Fajarski to get the out and save another run.
I don't know if I'm on.
So Essex puts 3 on the board. It's 4-0 going into the bottom of the third. We'll be right back. And welcome back, and look at that gorgeous drone shot of the Germantown campus, Windy Hill, baseball field. You can even see Sugarloaf Mountain way at the top of your screen in the distance.
That's beautiful.
Absolutely beautiful shot. Wow.
The bus going by as well. Look at that.
And now we've got some shots of the campus. That's the Science Center there, correct? Andre?
Oh, you throw me on the spot. I got to look. Yes,
Yeah.
that looks like the Science Center. Some windmills on the top.
Yep. So, just gorgeous shots. Brought to you by MCTV.
Come on, Blake. Come on, Nate. Come on, Nate.
We're all set to go, and here is Blake Newell, leading off. This is his first time up today. Blake's made a couple of nice plays in the field so far. Blake is from Nova Scotia.
Wow.
Yeah.
Nova Scotia.
Gorgeous. He hits that one hard to right, but right at the right fielder. He hardly had to move.
Second baseman, Joe.
And that brings up second baseman Joe Dringwitz.
Wow, and that last pitch was 88 miles per hour. Definitely the fastest pitch of the game. Oh, that one almost hit me right there. But yeah, 88 miles per hour.
So Joe is another sophomore for the Raptors, hitting .211 so far on the season. Has scored 6 runs for the Raptors so far this year. I'm sorry, 12 runs. 3 stolen bases, shows bunt, takes a strike. We're in the bottom of the third, Raptors trailing 4-0. They need to get something going here. And he takes another strike. Raptors with just 1 hit so far. And that's strike 3.
Wow.
As Dringwitz goes down looking. And that brings up the center fielder for the Raptors, Trey Mason.
This is his second at bat, right?
Yep. He flew out to right his first time up.
And he's a Germantown native.
A very fast runner. Got 20 steals on the season. Leads the Raptors in that category. The Raptors would like nothing better than for Trey to get on base right now. Try to get something going with 2 outs. I'll tell you what, Parsons looks very strong out there right now.
He does, and he's throwing the ball hard today.
He's not laboring at all. It's ideal conditions for a pitcher. It's not too hot. There's there's a strike on the corner. Next to no humidity. Just ideal conditions. It's about low 60s here today, I think. And he swings right through that one. If anything, he seems to be getting a little stronger as the game goes on. Wow. That is strike 3 looking.
Jeez.
So that was a very quick half inning for the Raptors. 2 strikeouts and a flyout. So they go down 1, 2, 3. So after 3 complete, Raptors trailing. And welcome back, and we are underway here in the top of the fourth. Leading off for Essex is Urena. The Knights batted around last inning. Urena led things off with a ground ball to short, and then after that, Essex went on a rally to put 3 on the board and up their lead to 4-0. Fajerski is still in there for the Raptors. And there's a pop-up to right. He's under it for the out. So 1 up, 1 down. And that brings up Perez. Perez homered to center his last time up. And that kind of got things going for Essex in the top half of the third. No doubt about it, shot to dead center field. He had a sacrifice bunt his first time up. Pitch count wise, 56 pitches for David Fajerski. Make that 58. So 50, there's a strike.
That's a pitch.
On the other hand, his opponent, Parsons, has just 33 after 3 innings. That's efficient.
Yeah, that's impressive. Very impressive.
There's a line drive, and it's fair down the right field line.
All the way into the corner.
Perez is going into second, standing.
Perez is having himself a very good day.
Yeah, he's 2 for 2 with the sacrifice. So.
You're seeing the replay right here. Ball perfectly placed in a spot where nobody can get it. He got himself to second, and 1 home run and it's another hit as well.
Well, he came in hitting .324 on the year. That brings up Zayas. Eduardo Zayas, the shortstop. And he is 1 for 2. And that's a wild pitch. Perez glides into third, so Zayas now with a runner just 90 feet away. Now Eduardo Zayas is making a fashion statement up there.
Oh, he is.
Andre.
I think that I see 2 different colored cleats.
He does. He's got 2 different colored cleats. On the right, he's got, whoa. That hit him on the top of the helmet. And in a way, it didn't hurt him.
No.
It just glanced off, but it's lucky it hit him in the helmet.
Ooh.
Otherwise, the run would have scored easily.
Yeah.
So that's the second hit by pitch of the afternoon. And that brings up Cook. Cook is 0 for 1. Get out on a grounder, and he walked. There's a ground ball to third. Newell bobbles it, throws it to first, gets the out. They try to get the runner at third. The throw gets away, and another run scores. Zayas scores easily. So Perez scores. Zayas scores on the throwing error. And all of a sudden, it's 5. I believe they missed a run. Yep, it's 6-0.
They're probably chatting about that right there, but let's. Oh, wait.
Well, somebody was called out. So they're going to call the runner out at first. But 2 runs score on a ground ball out to first. That is another unusual play, but again, it's the Raptors errors that allowed that to happen. So that's 2 more unearned runs. And that brings up Parsons, the starting pitcher. And he hits one to left, and it's foul. We have a little trouble seeing the left field line from our vantage point. And tried to pull it back in, but couldn't. 2 balls, 2 strikes. I'm sorry. Yeah, 1 ball, 2 strikes. 2 outs, and that's in the dirt, but no harm done, nobody on. So we don't want to do this, but at some point we may have to discuss the mercy rule.
And what is that rule?
Well, it takes place any time after 5 innings. And there's another one. Boy, that really went up there.
Yeah, I haven't seen the ball come back down.
There's another beautiful drone shot of the complex here on the Germantown campus. Wind is picked up again. Every now and then we get a pretty good gust, but it hasn't been constant. And he swung right through that one for strike 3. And that is the 3rd out of the inning. But not before Essex tacks 2 more on. They're up 6-0 heading into the bottom of the 4th.
Let's get the basketball, fellas. Let's go. Come on, let's go. Let's go.
MC is defined by those who put in the work, and MC students do. We don't just begin to be inspired by those students after graduation, they inspire us every step of their journey.
Operations research, data analysts. All businesses need analytics. They anticipate the growth to be 25% over the next 5 years.
Hi, I'm Tim Kirkchin with ESPN, and you're watching Raptor Baseball on MC TV.
And welcome back to the Germantown campus of Montgomery College. Michael Brown alongside my partner, Andre Anderson. Good look there at the Raptors pitching coach, Vic Capozzi, and Hayden Hare, who's going to lead off things for the Raptors here in the bottom of the 4th. Raptors really need to get something going as they are trailing 6-0. They have just the 1 hit. It's an infield. They have 2 hits, 2 infield hits. And Hare is up. His first time up, he flew out to center field. As Parsons has really been effective and efficient, Casey Parsons for Essex.
Yeah, he's had a great day today on the mound. Also throwing the ball really hard as well, getting up to 88 miles per hour.
So Raptors need to get something going here. We did mention last half inning, we didn't get a chance to elaborate. Talking about the mercy rule, we would prefer not to see that invoked, but any time after 5 innings, there's a base hit to center field.
Great way to start the inning for MC.
So Hayden Hare starts it out with a ground ball single to center, and that brings up Mickey Anderson. Mickey Anderson is just 0 for 1. He struck out his first time up. But from the 5th inning on, if a team has a 10-run or more lead, then that is the ball game. Yeah, they call the game based on the mercy rule. So we're not near that, but we're flirting with it here at 6-0. So I'm going to keep you informed, let you know that is a possibility. Good look here of Mickey Anderson, the leading power hitter on the Raptors. 33 ribbies, 5 homers, 14 doubles. And he's got 16 steals. And he pops it foul out of play.
Can do a little bit of everything.
That is for sure. He scored 34 runs. Has 41 hits this year. Hitting .345 on the season. He hits a shot down the third baseline, but it's foul. Of course, we cannot say this enough. Mickey is from Piqua, Ohio.
And we're still trying to figure out some good restaurants in the area.
Now, I haven't lived there in that area for many moons. Back then, there was nothing to write home about. I grew up in a town that did not have a Chinese restaurant.
Really?
Yes.
That is unfortunate.
I know. I was a deprived child.
Yeah, Kung Pao chicken.
Yep.
Order it next time you go to a Chinese
I
restaurant.
was
You will
deprived.
not be disappointed, I'm telling you. Oh.
There's a pop-up. And it's out of play. So Anderson making Parsons work. Raptors have a runner on first. Nothing out, and they're trying to get something going. They need to string some hits together. They need some base runners. You get base runners at this level, things start to happen.
Yeah.
As we've seen with the Raptors today.
Yep.
Then fielders have to make decisions. They have to maybe rush the throw a little bit.
And it seems like there's always a momentum type of thing as well. One guy gets on base, and then the next hitter kind of gets on base.
It gets contagious.
It is.
It gets contagious. So Mickey trying to keep that contagion going.
Oh, there we go. Contagion.
And he hits another line drive foul. Boy, he is getting his money's worth at this at bat. He's just a freshman. 451 on base percentage. That means nearly 1 out of every 2 at bats he's on base. Oh, he got him fishing. Wow. And that is strike 3. Just couldn't hold the bat back. So that brings up Van Rosenbaum, the shortstop.
Looks like that slider was activated again.
Yeah, he broke the plane.
It's kind of getting everybody.
The plane of the plate with his swing. So that brings up Van Rosenbaum. He struck out his first time up. Raptors shortstop. Casey Parsons on the mound. Parsons came in with a 4.15 ERA, and he's done nothing but improved on that. There's a fly ball to right center. That's going to be in there. It drops. Rosenbaum going to second. Throw comes in. Not in time, not nearly in time. So Rosenbaum with a double.
Yep, and just like we said, one person gets on base, it seems like it's contagious. Another player on base for a 2-base hit right here.
So that puts runners on second and third, and that brings up Jaden Kritsky. Great, Jaden was out on a fly ball to right his first time up, but he's got 2 runners in scoring position, just 1 out.
Let's go, Crit.
And this is a golden opportunity for the Raptors to get back in this thing. Foul out of play. Jaden, one of the more experienced players on the Raptors. Struggled a little bit at the plate this year, though. He's only hitting .222. Fouls it off.
Let's go. Let's go.
So they're making Parsons work a little more this inning. He's had a couple of really easy innings.
Yeah, I think he was in like the low 30s pitch count wise in the last inning, and it's definitely much higher than that now.
Well, Anderson, before he did strike out, must have fouled off half a dozen pitches.
Yeah.
And certainly made Parsons work for that strikeout.
Yeah, he's up to 45 pitches, make that 46 now in the pitch count.
And that ball is outside. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Runners on second and third for the Raptors, just 1 down here in the bottom of the 4th. The Raptors really first threatening. There's a line drive up the middle. That should score 2. Oh, it gets by the center fielder. Here comes Rosenbaum in with the second run. And Kritzky all the way around to third base. So Jaden Kritzky with a key hit.
Let's keep it going. Seeing the replay right here. Great hit straight down the middle of the field. An error, I would call that an error, right? Center field's coming down there trying to get the ball.
Oh, absolutely.
Misses it. Yeah,
that's a 2-base error because it allowed Kritzky to go all the way around to third base. So he's back in scoring position. That brings up Guardado, who grounded out to first his first time up. A ground out to first here could very well score a run. So the Raptors on the board for the first time this afternoon. And it just shows you, like we were saying, you get some runners on, things start to happen. High and outside. 2 balls, no strikes. So all of a sudden, Parsons laboring just a tad. Runners with the Raptors with a runner just 90 feet away, Jaden Kritzky. Boy, he hit that ball right on the sweet spot for that hit. And I think that's a situation where the center fielder's thinking, okay, if I can charge that ball, maybe I can stop that second run from scoring. But it got through him. Ooh.
I don't know.
Interesting call.
Yeah. Wow. I don't know.
So full count now. Here's the pitch. And he struck him out. So Guardado goes down on strikes. And that brings up Segura. Segura going to try to keep this thing going. Raptors really would love to bring that runner home from third and keep this inning alive, make Parsons work a little more. And here comes the runner. The ball gets through the catcher, and that's a big run.
Yep. The lead is now only 3.
That's a gift. Let's see. I'm going to call that a pass ball.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
That's not a wild pitch. That ball was right over the plate. It was low, but great replay shot there by our camera team. There's a ground ball. Great diving stop. And safe. The ball got away.
Wow, MC's loving the bottom of the 4th. This is their inning.
We're going to give that a hit as Castillo had to dive for it. he made a great stop to keep it in the infield, but wasn't able to recover to make the good throw. So, and that brings up Newell. He flew out the first time up to right. Has had an excellent day in the field. Made a couple of real nice plays early. Blake Newell. Raptors trying to keep it going. Takes a strike. So they've cut the lead in half. Runner on first, 2 outs, 3 in. Ground ball to second off the fist, should be the 3rd out. It is, but not before the Raptors put 3 on the board and get right back into this thing. So after 4 complete, it's 6-3 Essex. And welcome back to the Germantown campus of Montgomery College. Michael Brown alongside Andre Anderson. We're all set to start the 5th inning. Raptors trailing 6-3. Leading off for Essex is number 14, William Hartman, their catcher. And he is 1 for 1 on the day with an RBI. Walked his first time up, had a single to left and an RBI his last time up. He was up just last inning. I'm sorry, he was up in the 3rd inning. We're in the 5th. Again, these games are 7 innings because we're playing a doubleheader today. And there's a fly ball to deep left. Back on it, and he dropped it. Got his glove on it, hit the wall, hit the fence. That was Anderson, and it popped out. And that's going to be an error. So, and that puts Hartman on second base. That brings up Castillo. He was hit by a pitch his first time, or his last time up, struck out his first time up. Rafael Castillo from Queens, New York. 6-3. There's a fly ball to right center, and it is gone.
Wow.
Wait a minute.
Oh, yeah,
it's gone.
Yeah, he missed the bag.
So Castillo just hit a bomb to right center field, and that is probably the deepest part of the ballpark.
Yeah, that was a rocket.
So no doubt about it, the fielders took a couple of steps and then waved it bye-bye.
Here you're seeing it once again.
Boom.
Everyone kind of knew it.
Yep. The center fielder was the dead giveaway. He kind of turned his back on it. And here comes Dan Rasher out to the mound. And when Dan comes out, that usually means a pitching change. That was a 2-run homer. So the Raptors crawl back in it. They get 3. And then a couple of pitches later, they lose. Essex picks up 2 of those 3. So Raptors get a little momentum, and then they get it taken away from them.
Yeah, that's kind of a, like a punch to the stomach. You kind of lose your air. That's kind of one of those things that just happened. But, I mean, still decent amount of innings left for the Raptors to do this.
Oh, there's plenty of time.
Yeah. So
there's plenty of time. And I was wrong, as usual, as Dan Rasher leaves his pitcher in there. And Fajerski has pitched well, I think, for the most part. There have been some fielding miscues behind him.
There has been. I mean,
he's definitely been hurt by some fielding plays. There's a ground ball, and they call it foul down the third base line.
That was a tough one to call.
Very close. This is Carroll. Carroll is 1 for 2 on the day. Brody Carroll. 75 pitches now for Jaworski.
Yeah, he's getting up there.
He's getting up there. At this level, 75 pitches is high and tight. You won't see him. You won't see many pitchers at this level go past 85, 90 pitches. This is a young guy, just a freshman. High and tight again. Jaworski's just a freshman out of Waldorf, Maryland, on the other side of the Beltway. Ooh. Just a little late on that one. Brody Carroll.
Yeah, the ump is taking some hits today.
And that's Vance Coleman behind the plate. He's going to be real glad to switch positions in the nightcap.
Oh yeah, he's going to definitely be sore tomorrow as well.
Oh yeah. And no offense to Vance, but he's no spring chicken back there. He's been around the sun a couple of times. And take it from me, I'm an old guy, and when you get older, that ball hurts a lot more.
Now, I'm a decently young guy, and it would still hurt me.
Decently young guy. Now, there's an expression.
Yeah, I'm not too young, but I'm not too old, I guess.
My son Andre here is like 90 years younger than I am.
Stretching out his arm, I see.
Yeah, I'm wondering if he might have some tightness in his rib cage.
Yeah, there's a pitching change.
And he comes out. And nice effort there. Nice effort by David Fajerski. And receiving congratulations from his teammates. And the new pitcher is going to be Michael Guardado. Michael was playing first. So we'll see who the Raptors move to first. And Guardado's going to give him a different look. He's a lefty. Give you some numbers on Michael on the season. Michael's only pitched 3 innings so far this year. He's only had 2 appearances. Had a little trouble with the strike zone. Has 6 walks and just 2 appearances. So his ERA is nothing to write home about, but he can lower it dramatically today with a good effort.
It's a perfect day for baseball, so maybe he'll catch a groove and bring MC home.
Michael Guardado. He's a sophomore out of Rockville, so hometown guy.
Now Rockville is a place with a lot of good restaurants.
Yes. I don't know if you folks have noticed, but Andre is either hungry or he's fixated on food, or perhaps it's both.
I don't know. It's I'm feeling. You mentioned the Chinese earlier, and now that's kind of like stuck in my mind a little bit.
Oh yeah, he asked our statistician Evan Brown if he had the number for DoorDash earlier. I wasn't quite sure why he asked that, but I think we know now.
Well, like I said, Kung Pao chicken. Fun fact: orange chicken is actually an American Chinese dish.
So is egg foo young, I understand.
Egg foo young, okay.
Which I've never had.
I've never had. I'm gonna look for that one next time.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm more of an eggs Benny guy.
Oh, that's a good one. That's a good one.
So let's see if we can figure out who has moved to first for the Raptors. And there's Jose out there. Is he out in center field? He's in the woods out there. That used to be my old post. There's Corey Wallace out there in center.
There you go.
Communing with nature.
Yeah. Bird watching.
Yep. Talking to the squirrels as he usually does. Finding out where all the nuts are hidden. And there's strike 3.
Okay, an early strikeout for Guardado. And
that brings up
I
Holland.
need to change it on my list, on my roster.
Holland is 0 for 2. Nice breaking ball there by Guardado for the strikeout. Still haven't figured out who is on first for the Raptors. It's a dirty uniform, so I can't read his number. Oh, it may still be Hare. It probably is Hare. Yeah, it is Hare. Hayden Hare. Sorry. Guardado was actually the DH. So yes, Hayden Hare is still at first base. Guardado was the DH and has now moved into the lineup.
So can I get a quick explanation on, say you're a batter, you've been facing a right-handed pitcher the whole game.
Right.
And then, midway through the game, all of a sudden the left-handed pitcher comes in. How does that kind of throw off your psyche, the way that you've been batting kind of the whole time?
Well, I think, for a younger player like this, it definitely throws them off because all of a sudden they're seeing that ball coming from a different angle.
Yeah.
A different arm, different side. Of course, whenever you get a new pitcher, there's always some adjustment, whether they're right-handed or left-handed, because there's a different release point, there's a different arm slot, different motion, but it's even more drastic when you go from a lefty to a righty.
Yeah.
Particularly at this level. These guys are not Major League Baseball players, so they're not playing 162 games a year plus,
spring training
and postseason. They're just not as experienced, obviously. So yeah, it definitely can change things up for them. Way to first, and they got him. Boy, quick throw to first. And heads up play there by Hayden Hare. Here we go. Now watch this move. Perfect. Oh, he was out by a mile. That wasn't even close.
Not at all. Not at all.
So Holland walks and then is promptly picked off first. Beautiful play.
Yeah, so far so good.
I'll tell you what, that was a great pickoff throw because he did not stride to the base. He just threw it from a parallel position. He got a lot on that. With no step. So Guardado with the that's how you get yourself out of some trouble.
Oh yeah.
So now all of a sudden the bases are clean and there's 2 outs and Urena is back up again. And he hits one. Now that makes the beautifully defense there by the Raptors as Mason just was in the right place. Great outfield defense there, and the Raptors get out of that inning with no damage. So
MC is defined by those who put in the work. The paths we took have been unique, but we come together with one shared mission.
If you are the first in your family to graduate, if you speak more than one language, if you are older than 50 years old, a military service member, an honor student, if you are a parent, please stand up and say, I am MC.
We don't just begin to be inspired by them after graduation. They've been inspiring us every step of the way.
And welcome back. Once again, another beautiful shot of Windy Hill here on the Germantown campus of Montgomery College. Raptors trailing 8-3 as we are in the bottom of the 5th inning. Raptors did put 3 on the board, but it was quickly answered by 2 from Essex to push the lead back up to 5. Parsons still in there. Casey Parsons still in there for Essex. And
it makes sense
number
that
10, Joe Drangwitz, leads off.
Yeah, but it makes sense that Parsons is still in there. He's had a really good game so far.
No, he really has. There's a pop-up. Down third baseline. I have lost it.
And
he made the catch. Right against the fence. There's not a whole lot of foul ground on the third base side of this field. So that brings up Trey Mason. Trey is 0 for 2. Made a couple of nice plays in the outfield, however.
And all we need for him is just to get on base. We know that he's really fast and is one of the best players on the MC team that can steal the bases. So that's something that they are looking for from him.
Yeah, he's their leading base stealer with 20. The Raptors would like nothing better than to get him on. He's a catalyst for their offense.
1 and 2.
He's a hometown kid right out of Germantown.
Don't make me say that Germantown has good restaurants too.
And he pops it up into the infield. And second baseman Urena gathers that in for the second out. So Casey Parsons just continues to sail along. That brings up Hayden Hare. He had a single his last time up and scored. So he's 1 for 2. And he's played a real nice first base. How's that back? And he is quickly behind in the count. No balls, 2 strikes. 2 quick outs for the Raptors. Parsons has just been very efficient. His control has been excellent.
Wow.
And
what a
he
pitch.
struck him out on 3 pitches. And that was a very easy inning for Casey Parsons. So we've played 5 complete. Raptors trailing 8-3.
Show me some respect, yeah. I'm a dawn and you know it. I'm giving you a shot, show up, don't blow it. If I'm in my zone, don't stop me flowing. Gotta give me a moment, I'm a star, let me show it. Some people say I'm too far gone, but I'm right where I belong. They can't help but see me shine. I'm hella fly and my mind is long. Everybody wanna tag along. I'ma be that girl till I die.
At Montgomery College, dedication has no end, and ambition knows no age. Discover your passion, unlock your potential, and become the author of their future too at Montgomery College.
And welcome back to the Germantown campus. We are set to start the 6th. Again, this game is 7 innings in length. Unless Essex goes crazy here, it doesn't look like we'll be invoking the mercy rule. And leading off for Essex is number 24, Jimmy Perez. And Mr. Perez has had himself quite the afternoon. He's got a home run, a double, and a sacrifice bunt. So he's been one of the offensive stars this afternoon for Essex. And umpire got hit again. And this one looks, this is Vance Coleman. I'm not sure where he took it. Let's take a look here. Couldn't quite see. So
wow.
So he's getting another drink, trying to get himself together.
Yeah, it has not been a fun day at the ballpark.
No.
For our head home today.
No, Vance Coleman's had a rough one. Started in the first inning.
Yeah.
He got drilled. Yeah, he's holding his stomach. Now they do wear a upper torso protector, but when the ball gets to him that quickly, it's still going to hurt.
Oh yeah,
it's like being punched in the stomach.
Ooh, never want that to happen.
A good look at the field here with the blooming trees.
The nicely cut grass on the outside.
Yeah, we are in the brand new booth here at the Germantown campus of Montgomery College. Got a brand new booth here. It's much nicer than what we've had in previous seasons.
Yeah, air conditioning and heat. So that's something that we're excited about. Nice space, countertops. I wouldn't call this a countertop, but you know, shelf desk area.
Desk. Yep.
It's nice.
Yep. Very, very, very nicely done.
Coffee machine. Okay, no coffee machine.
Heat and air conditioning, however.
Yes, that is crucial.
Yep. There are exclusive MC banners behind us.
Thank you, Peter.
Yep. And we're just kind of vamping here, waiting for
the ump,
for the umpire to get himself together.
Huh?
There's Thomas DeVita. Thomas is a former Montgomery College student. Tommy worked for MCTV when he was here. I spent a lot of time teaching him all the wrong things when he was here. Tommy is now very successful, out in the real world.
Okay.
He works for the Nats. He works for the Commanders. He works for the Spirit.
Yeah, I was asking earlier.
The Monument.
I was asking him earlier. I was like, "Is there a team that you don't work for?" And it took him a while to answer that.
There's Bradley, another one of our students.
And he's waving to the wrong direction. It's okay, though.
Yeah.
No worry, Bradley. Just keep doing you, man. We still love you.
So Bradley must be where was Bradley?
Where is he? Actually?
Down the right field line?
First base.
First base.
Okay.
No worries, down the right field line. And of course to my right is Andre Anderson.
That is I, yes.
To my left is our statistician, Evan Brown, doing his usual fantastic job here in the booth, helping us out. So we are finally ready to get back to action. And Perez takes the ball. Perez has really been a thorn in the Raptors' side. Had a no doubt about it homer in the third. Last inning, he had a double to right. Came around to score. And he grounds it. Fair ball down the first base line. Nice play there by Hare. And he's out. First time they've gotten him out all day.
So far for Guardrado, he's been doing an amazing job.
Yeah, he's in relief for Fajerski, who we have just learned pulled his one of his lat muscles.
Yeah.
So that's why one of the reasons why he came out. But apparently he pulled it earlier in the game.
Third inning, I believe.
He was pitching through some discomfort.
Yeah,
I think we noted during the game that he was kind of like trying to loosen that lat up, and we just got word that in fact he had injured that lat, but he's a tough kid and he stayed out there. So Zayas is up now. He was hit by a pitch his last time up. Had a RBI single and stole a base back in the third and grounded out in the first. There's a ground. They're going to have to hurry. There's Newell. Long throw. They got him.
Great throw once again. Newell has been having a tremendous defensive game playing that third base position.
He's done a nice job.
Check the replay here.
Zayas, as we said, that's the fastest player on the Essex team. Nicely done there. And that brings up Cook. Cook is 0 for 2 with a walk and a run scored. Justin Cook takes it high. So we're in the top of the sixth. Again, because we are playing a doubleheader today, each game will be 7 innings, not 9. Of course, we're playing at a field that does not have lights. I can remember a few times in the past when we finished that second game of the doubleheader, and it was getting a little dark.
Yeah. It's not something you want to have to deal with playing baseball.
No. That should not be the case today. First of all, this game is moving at a pretty decent pace, and second of all, there's not a cloud in the sky. So that's a base on balls, and that brings up Parsons. Parsons is 0 for 2 with a walk. Guardado has been right around the strike zone ever since he came in. And he starts Parsons out with a strike.
This is a pitcher versus pitcher action right here.
There's a fly ball to the left. This is going to stay fair. And it's gathered in. Anderson makes the catch for the third out of the inning. So Guardado does his job again. So after 5.5, Raptors trail 8-3.
Career success starts at Montgomery College. At MC, you can prepare for a rewarding career in these exciting fields. And if your goal is earning a bachelor's degree, starting at MC is a smart choice. MC's award-winning team supports you every step of the way, with advising, tutoring, and career preparation to help you make your move. Join the thousands that are getting the education they need to succeed at Montgomery College.
Employers are looking for licensed physical therapy assistants. MC has a 2-year degree program for jobs in this career. PT assistants work with people of all ages recovering from all injuries. You could be working at a hospital, a large corporation, a private practice, a nursing home. The list is long. And in this area, the average pay is good. Learn more about becoming a physical therapy assistant and how MC can help you get there.
Montgomery College is home to those whose dedication doesn't rest. Those who know that it's not about the hours you put in, but what you put into the hours that transforms lives. So what are you waiting for? Unlock your full potential at Montgomery College.
Welcome back to the Germantown campus. We are all set for the bottom half of the 6th inning, and the Raptors really need to get something going here. They're trailing 8-3. Mickey Anderson leading off for the Raptors, and he is 0 for 2 with 2 strikeouts against Casey Parsons. There's a pop down the first baseline. First baseman, probably saw that fence out of the corner of his eye, and that may have been enough to
throw him off
a little bit.
Ooh, and he seems to be a little shaken up. Okay,
he did hit the fence. He gave it everything he had. That's Crook. So let's talk about Casey Parsons out there, the pitcher. He's only got 68 pitches, 7 strikeouts, and this to me, Andre, is the most impressive statistic. No walks.
That's very impressive.
The coach loves that. There's a fly ball to right, and easy play for the right fielder. He's only allowed 5 hits, but the no walks and just 69 pitches.
A lot of control, placement. He knows where he wants to go, what he wants to do with each pitch. He's had a tremendous game.
That is for sure. So 2 quick outs, and that brings up Van Rosenbaum. Van had a double his last time up and came around to score. Should be just 1 out here, just 1 out. So the Raptors really need base runners. And Van's a good guy to do that. One of the more consistent players on the team, hitting .322 on the season. Has 31 RBIs, second on the team in that category, and 9 steals. So that they can get him on. He can cause some headaches. There's a liner right up the middle, base hit. Hit that one right on the button.
Great hit, as you're seeing on the replay right here, straight down the middle, over the second baseman.
Got out there in a hurry. And that brings up Jaden Kritsky. Jaden had a single to center his last time up and knocked in 2 runs. He actually made it all the way around to third on some creative fielding, we'll put it that way, by Essex. And he eventually scored. And that was back in the 4th inning when the Raptors put 3 on the board. They're only 3. So runner on first, and Rosenbaum is definitely a threat to steal. There's a line drive right at the shortstop, throw back to first. And it gets away, and Rosenbaum, a little slow to pick that up, but he easily scampered into second. So Kritsky hit that ball hard, but right at the shortstop. And that brings up Guardado. Guardado looking for his first hit on the afternoon. He's been pitching the last couple innings, done a real nice job in relief. Raptors starter David Fajerski. And Lowe. Casey Parsons has been in control the entire game. There's a grounder to third. Long throw, in time for the out. So the Raptors get a runner on second, but they leave him hanging out there. So we are ready to go into the what could be the final inning, the top of the 7th. The Raptors trailing.
This passion is never exhausted. And you cannot stop it. Nah, you cannot stop it.
And welcome back to the Germantown campus of Montgomery College. We are going into the top of the 7th inning. Raptors are trailing 8-3. And leading off for Essex will be number 14, William Hartman, the catcher.
Yeah. So I got a question, Mike.
Yeah.
So we got a little bit of time before the batter gets up to the plate.
Right.
So watching the MLB lately, a lot of home runs are going on.
Right.
It's great. It's awesome. Did you hear this whole thing about this torpedo bat situation?
Yes.
Let's talk about that.
Well, it's apparently it's legal.
Okay.
And it doesn't exceed the length limits or the circumference limits of the bat. What they have done is, now most of these guys, I haven't seen any torpedo bats here today, but they have moved. Basically, they were watching guys hit, and guys were hitting off just above the label.
Yeah.
The label is, roughly 2/3 of the way down the bat, maybe a little more, and so they took, and the thickest part of the bat, as you can see on most of these bats, is at the top.
Yeah.
So they took the thickest. There's a fly ball to left.
Oh, great catch!
And nice shoestring catch there, and they just moved that thicker part.
Okay.
A little further down the barrel, so that most of these hitters, when they hit the ball now, are hitting it off that thicker part.
Okay.
Which should give it a little more. They called that a hit. Okay, they called that a hit. I'm sorry, I was in the middle of my torpedo bat discussion and missed it. Oh, nice bunt. That is a base hit. Wow. So Hartman starts the inning out with a single to left, and then Castillo beats out a bunt. I'm sure he was just trying to sacrifice, but he put it in no man's land. Let's take a look at it. Oh, I guess we missed that. Take a look at it. But I'm still thinking about the torpedo.
Yeah, we're still trying to get through that. Yeah, I kind of set you up a little bit.
But basically, they just moved the sweet spot of the bat just down a little bit.
Yeah. Okay.
And so it's now a little bit smaller at the very top of the bat, and some of the thickness has been moved down.
Okay.
So I'm not sure why they called it a torpedo.
Maybe because the way that it's just flying off the bat now, I'm assuming.
Maybe it's shaped like a torpedo. I'm not on.
Yeah, I don't know about.
I don't really know what a torpedo looks like.
Yeah, I don't either.
But
okay, that makes sense.
Yeah. So that is what is going on. It's been Major League Baseball has approved it. But again, you still have to hit the ball.
Exactly. So no matter if the whole bat is a torpedo bat.
Exactly.
You still have to hit it.
You still have to hit it.
So it's quite impressive.
So the Raptors definitely do not want to give up another run here. That would make it very, very tough. It's going to be tough enough. Brody Carroll is up. He's 1 for 3. There's a pop, bunt, foul. It's 8-3, and the Raptors cannot afford to give up any more runs here. Particularly the way Casey Parsons has been throwing. I see no reason why he's not going to come out for the 7th.
Oh yeah, he might as well finish out this game. He's been having a tremendous run.
And a complete game at this level, you don't see him every day. There's a breaking ball for a ball. 2 balls, 1 strike. Nobody out, 2 runners on. And Brody Carroll at the plate. Guardado still in for the Raptors. There's a bunt, and it's fair. Throw to first. And nice scoop over there. Beautiful job by Joe Drengwitz, who had to come over to cover first because Hare, the first baseman, charged in with the bunt. And look at that pickup there by Joe Drengwitz. Nice job.
Yeah, the ball hops right in front of you like that. It is not easy at all.
And
to
he
make
had to
that
backhand
catch.
it.
Yep.
So that brings up Holland. I'm sorry, we have a pinch hitter now, Pozo.
Rodriguez.
Pozo is pinch hitting. This is his first appearance of the day. Lorenzo Pozo, he's a .329 hitter. So he replaces Holland, who was 0 for 2 and was picked off first base his last time up. Maybe that has something to do with it, I'm not sure. Yeah, Lorenzo Rodriguez Pozo.
Out of Orlando, Florida. I once lived there for a good 4 or 5 years.
He's a freshman. He could do a little bit of everything for this team. He's got 16 ribbies, scored 20 runs, has 13 steals, and .469 on base percentage. So he's obviously one of their key players, just getting a rest. As we talked about, Andre, this is Essex has had quite a schedule lately. This is their 4th doubleheader in 5 days.
That's a lot of baseball.
Pozo goes down looking. So 2 outs now. And Guardado doing his best to prevent another run. Urena is up. And he is looking for his first hit. He did get on and score the first run of the game. He scored a run on a balk in the top of the first inning after getting on via an error. And he's grounded out twice and flown out, grounded out once and flown out twice since. So the Raptors have done a pretty good job keeping him off the bases because he's another one of those catalyst types. So again, this is a 7-inning ball game, barring a tie. Soft liner into right center. That is going to score 1 run. Here comes the second run. Head first slide. He's safe. So a 2-out, 2-run single for Urena, and that one really hurt.
Yeah.
That's 2 RBI for Urena. That really hurt. And that brings up Perez, who has been a thorn in the side of the Raptors all afternoon. Had a home run, a double, scored a couple of runs, sacrificed bunt. So he's been in the mix all afternoon.
Ooh, good pitch.
Swung right through that one. 2 outs now, runner on first, but 2 runs in. And that's a 7-run lead that the Raptors will be staring at in the bottom of the 7th. There's a line or a hard shot to second. Dringwitz for the out. So that is the 3rd out of the inning, but not before Essex puts 2 more on the board to take a 10-3 lead. We're going into the bottom of the 7th after this.
Why do they doubt the kid? I'm about to prove them all wrong again. I got a low tolerance, cause they don't even know what the problem is. It's me. You waiting on the boy to fail, to hold your breath and face your death.
And welcome back. We are all set for the bottom of the 7th inning, and no surprise to us, Casey Parsons is back out there on the hill going for his complete game. Coming into to today's game, he did not have he had 2 complete games.
Okay.
He had 2 of the 5 that Essex has had so far this season. And he is definitely on course to make that his 3rd complete game of the season.
Yeah, I mean, the way he's playing today, you can see that he's probably had a couple other performances. Oh.
Segura starts it out with a bunt. Throw to first is way over top of it. Segura's got to hustle back to first as he fell making the turn, because he was definitely looking at going to second. So Segura with a bunt base hit. That goes down as a hit for sure.
Would that be an error?
No.
No.
If he had gone to second,
okay,
that would have been a throwing error. Okay. But because he didn't go to second, it's not. And that brings up a pinch hitter for the Raptors, Chase Lieber. Chase Lieber in for Newell. And Lieber is normally a pitcher. I have no offensive stats on Chase. Chase is a freshman out of Olney. So the Raptors do get the leadoff runner on. They need a lot of base runners against a very tough Casey Parsons. So we're hearing that Lieber, despite his lack of offensive statistics, can hit the long ball.
That's exactly what Emerson needs right now as well.
Whoa, low bridge. Chase would love nothing better than to get a hold of one right here. Cut into that lead. The Raptors need What they really need are base runners.
Yeah, people on base. They need to get some people across that home plate as soon as possible.
So I'm sorry. Somehow I missed that, and that is a mistake on my part. But Chase Lieber, I'm just now being told, has 3 home runs on the season. But he just went down on strikes. So that brings up Jaden Mandler, another pinch hitter. He's pinch hitting for Drangwitz. Jaden's a freshman. He hits it. And that's going to go all the way to the wall. Segura coasts into third, and Mandler with a ringing double to right center field.
It's a great hit. Only 1 out, so they're still in a very good spot. You've seen the replay right here. Once again. Ooh, great
the
hit.
Center fielder, I think,
misjudged it a little bit.
Either didn't see it coming off the bat or misjudged it or both. Regardless, the ball was hit very, very well by Mandler. So that brings up the top of the order with Trey Mason, who is definitely due. Just 1 out. Mason pops it down the right field line. The right fielder is over and can't come up with it. Great effort by Eduardo Zayas. One out, bottom of the 7th inning. 10-3. This is game 1 of 2. We'll be bringing you the second game approximately 20 minutes after the conclusion of the first game. Scheduled start is 3:30. We'll be right around there. There's a pop-up into short right for the catch. No tag by Segura. He is a catcher after all. Not known for their speed. That's 2 outs now. Parsons 1 out away from a complete game. That brings up Hayden Hare, who is 1 for 3 with a run scored. 2 outs now. Bottom of the 7th. Strike 1. The pitcher's favorite phrase, strike 1.
There you go. You know what his second favorite phrase is? Strike 2.
He just missed it. One ball, 1 strike. 2 outs here. There's a line drive into right, but right at the right fielder. And that is the 3rd out of the ball game as the Raptors come up empty-handed here in the bottom of the 7th, and they come out on the short end of the stick, 10-3 here in game 1. Andre?
Yeah, it was a good game. But the Raptors, they did fall. CCBC-Essex did their thing. Parsons, though, I would say player of the game.
Oh, absolutely. Casey Parsons with a complete game. Very efficient. Well under 80 pitches for the afternoon. So the Raptors dropped the first game of the doubleheader 10-3. Once again, we'll be back with game 2 in just about 20 minutes. You're watching Raptors baseball on MC TV.